guys, so to get started I'm just going to use some toner just to prep my skin and help remove any excess oils before setting down my primer and my foundation. So the brand I use is Dickinson's, but guys, let me tell you, this stuff, it has a smell. I don't know what it is. Y'all, this stuff smells
oh my god.
Ugh. This stuff smells awful, guys, like really awful. But clear skin all 2020. So then moving on, I'll just take my Olay Regenerist Whip Moisturizer. This stuff has SPF in it, which I really like, and I'll just go ahead and put that on to kind of hydrate my skin. Then into my eyebrows, I'll probably give you guys an in-depth brow tutorial, but just the product I use, I like to use the Ardell Brow Pomade. I'll outline the bottom of my brow, then spoolie the hairs downward, and then outline the top, and then fill them in from there, and just using the spoolie end to kind of fluff them out so that they're not as harsh. And honestly, it's a pretty big mess, but luckily we have the LA Girl Pro Conceal to kind of help us fix that. So to prime my skin, I use the e.l.f. Poreless Primer, and let me tell you, a little goes a long way. Less is definitely more. Then onto foundation, I use the Maybelline Fit Me in the shade Warm Coconut. I like to use the silicone end of the Real Technique sponge to apply my foundation to my face, because I feel like it uses less product, and then I'll go in with the brush just to blend it out. Then I'll go in with my Juvia's Place concealer, and I use mine in the shade 11. So after I've blended out my concealer, I'm going to go ahead and take the LA Girl Pro Face HD High Definition Matte Powder in Classic Tan and set my under eyes just so that my concealer doesn't move. I honestly struggle with eye bags, so doing this kind of helps minimize the look of them so I have a more seamless face. So then to prime my eyes, I take the e.l.f. Putty Primer in the white. And I didn't show this on camera, but I do go ahead and add a little bit of a face oil, a very light oil I will say, nothing too thick, just to kind of help the putty move and be a little bit more malleable on my eyelids. And then I'll go ahead and take a different beauty blender and blend that out. I believe I got that one from e.l.f. So now into the beautiful, outstanding James Charles palette. I literally just got this and I'm so excited to use it. So starting with that lime green, I'm just going to work that into my inner crease. Then moving on, I'm going to go in with that darker green. And at this point, I realized that there could potentially be fallout. So I did go ahead and took some translucent powder and just set that under my eyes. So then, I mean, I'm pretty sure everyone knows what a rainbow looks like, how the colors transition. So I just went ahead and went in with a blue shade right after the green and just blended that into my upper crease area. And as of right now, I was just kind of laying the colors down just to map out how the transitions would be. So just one of the biggest tips is just to try and use, with all the palettes that you have, try and use all the colors that you can when doing rainbow looks like this, so that you can get a beautiful transition and it's going to take you less time to have to blend all these different colors together. So then I'm going to once again go into that e.l.f. Putty Eye Primer and cut my crease again. And for this look, I decided to go for a wing. So once I had that put down, I now started to go into the warm tones of the rainbow, starting with the yellow, moving on from orange, red, and you guys get where I'm going. So once again, I'm just laying down that color very lightly just to map out the placement of all the colors that I intend on using. And as you guys can see, I'm not taking the color all the way up to the top of my crease, and that is just because later on when we put the white eyeliner, it's going to cover over that, so we don't have to be too precise. So as you can see, I'm going back to add more pigment and ensure that all the colors are thoroughly blended up to my satisfaction. From there, I'm just going to go ahead and take some of those colors into my bottom lid. So I decided to do the purple, the red, and then transition it into the green. So then I'm going to take this NYX liquid eyeliner in white and begin to trace the part where the warm tones meet the cool tones in my crease. And my number one tip for this is just to really take your time. If you know that your hands aren't that steady, then just don't rush it. It's better to take your time to be more precise than to rush it and then ruin the eyeshadow. I like to take my hand fan and kind of use it to help dry down that liner quickly, so that as I'm opening my eyes to do the other side, that white eyeliner doesn't shift anywhere. So I'm just going to put a little bit more primer down on my other eye, just because I feel like it's faded away a little bit. And then y'all know the drill. The same colors that I put on my lid, I'm going to be taking that and doing those colors into my crease. Starting with the yellow, onto the orange, red, fuchsia, and then that beautiful royal purple. So the exact same technique I used on my right eye, I'm just going to go ahead and do that on the other. So then once I'm done with that, I'm going to go ahead and cut my crease again and begin filling in my lid. So once I was done placing that white line down, I decided to go back and once again add more pigment to the shadows just so that they pop and stand out. Then I'm going to go in with my NK Matte eyeliner and just do a regular wing. And when it comes to the inner corner, I try to keep the liner as thin as possible just to not distract or take away from the pigment on my lid. And then I decided to take it into my inner corner just to give my eyes that more feline cat eye appearance. And so I forgot to show you the product, but it's the NYX liquid eyeliners. I had them in a bunch of different colors. All of the products I use will be down in the description below. But I just went ahead and took those and added little dots in the corresponding colors on my lid. So then once the eyeshadow look was all completed, I just went ahead and dusted that powder off and then went ahead to finish my face. So I went in and contoured and then applied blush. And so for the blush, for this look, I decided to use the eyeshadows just to kind of really play up the doll kind of look I was going for. So I went ahead and started with the red and put that on kind of where the blush would usually meet the contour, and then I went with the orange and put that in more of the rosy centers of my cheek just to give it that ombre look, and then decided to go in with that beautiful fuchsia pink kind of color into the darkest parts around my cheekbones. And then I took those same colors and ran it across my nose just to add that childlike look. Then I went into my Anastasia Glow Kit in the shade Bronze. I went ahead and added highlight on my nose and under my brow. And then I decided it wasn't popping enough. So I decided to go into the shade right next to it. I believe it's called Summer. And I decided to add that on top, focusing that on the tip of my nose and the bridge. And as you can see, it's popping. That just made such a huge difference. So then, of course, I wanted some freckles, really trying to play onto this whole Candyland theme. I started with black, and literally, guys, I just went in random spots, trying not to make them too big or too small, just making sure there's space in between them, leaving room for the other colors. So I just went in with those NYX liquid eyeliners, and all the colors that I ended up putting on my eyelids are the same ones that I put across my cheek and my nose. I literally could not decide on what lip color I was feeling for this look. So for the first one, I tried this kind of like brown, purpley metallic look, but I don't know, I just wasn't feeling it. It was a pretty color, but just not for this look. So I went ahead and took it off. So then I went and I found this beautiful fuchsia. I thought it matched the purple and the red tones in my eyeshadow. So I decided to put that on, and it was still looking crazy. So I decided to add a brown liquid matte lipstick around the perimeter just to kind of deepen it up and give it depth. But then I absolutely hated it. So then I decided to just take that off and go for a simple gloss because I was just tired. My lips had had enough, and honestly I actually preferred that. I think the nice sheen, it's just the lip color before it gave my lips a nice tint, so they looked pretty good. So then I just went to put on some lashes. These were pretty short and wispy, so that my number one tip is that you never put on lashes that are really heavy with these kind of looks, because you really want the eyeshadow to show off, and if you put on big lashes, it kind of blocks that when my eyes are open. So a nice short wispy lash will do. And then I went to put on mascara just to blend my natural lashes in with my falsies. And that was done. That completed the look. But before I was done, I took off my little scarf, and boy, I needed some help. So I just went in with the same blush, the same stuff that I used to kind of bronze and contour my face, and I just went in to fill that in. So yeah, guys, that's the finished look. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely make sure to like, subscribe, and share. Turn on those bell notifications so you guys know when I post. But yeah, if y'all would like to see me do any other makeup looks or any other kind of content, definitely comment down below what you guys want to see from me. I had so much fun, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
Orange.